twice. He does not have a win yet, so looking for his first Oakland win.
Well, the Yankees have played very well behind him, and they have won his last 8 starts here at Yankee Stadium. So home cooking has been doing well for Severino and the Yankees when he's on the mound. Here's Marcus Semien to lead it off for the A's, and the first pitch of the ball game is inside for ball 1. As you see many times on Mother's Day, players are sporting the pink bats, some pink shoes. Of course, both teams with pink hats and socks. Pitch is hit on the ground, a one-hopper for Andujar. The throw to first is in time, and Semien is retired. Let's take a look at the rest of the Yankees on defense, presented by Geico. You got Gardner, Hicks, and Judge in the outfield. You saw Andujar at third, Gregorius at short, Torreyes at second, Austin at first, Sanchez doing the catching for Luis Severino. Here's Matt Joyce. 2 for 8 in this series with a solo home run. He's also walked 3 times. And you can see his batting average below 200, but his on-base percentage a respectable 352 as he fouls the first pitch off. That means he does draw base on balls.
Well, final game of the series, obviously a getaway day for both clubs, and the Oakland A's going up there swinging the bats early. 3 pitches, 2 swings already.
That pitch is in there for call. Strike 2, 0-2. Severino, of course, blazing fastball, sharp slider, and an improving changeup. Breaking ball in the dirt. Joyce wouldn't chase it in. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Closed captioning is brought to you by the Lincoln Motor Company.
Well, about a 2-hour and 45-minute delay. So for Severino, probably nothing changed with his routine. Just waiting to get the word.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
And when the start time would be, and then you get ready for your pregame routine and get after it.
Severino did have a start last year against the A's. He had a no decision in that game, but the A's went on to win by a score 7-6. Joyce has a good eye. He doesn't chase many pitches, and that one breaks low and out of the zone, and the count has gone full at 3-2. Sevy's ready, and the 3-2 pitch is on the way. And it is low, ball 4. Another walk from Matt Joyce, his 4th of the series. So there's 1 on and 1 out. And I'll bring up the number 3 hitter, Jed Lowry. Lowry's driven in 3 runs in this series. He's 3 for 10. And he's tied for the league-leading hits with Altuve and Manny Machado. That's Jose Altuve. All 3 of them have 52 hits in the early going this year. Another pink bat. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it off. And you saw that .335 average that places Lowry 6th in the league in hitting. Next pitch is fouled off once again, and quickly Lowry's in the hole. No balls and 2 strikes.
You see Severino kind of breaking out all 3 pitches early in this game. Change up first pitch to Lowry. Back with a breaking ball. Trying to get a feel for what he warmed up with in the bullpen and what you take out to the mound. Sometimes they're 2 completely different things.
Joyce with a short lead. The pitch is low, 1-2. And facing Severino is no day at the beach. And first of all, you got to look for that fastball. But when he has his slider, that's a good combination. You toss in that changeup, and he can really keep you off balance. In the dirt, knocked down by Sanchez. No advance for Joyce. And after being in the hole, 0-2, the count is even to 2 balls and 2 strikes. There are the Yankees all decked out in their Mother's Day gear. Those hats are pretty sharp, Flash.
I like the look. Looking back at Severino's last 2 starts and 2 starts ago against the Houston Astros, a complete game shutout. Worried a little bit about him bouncing back after that, but a quality outing against Boston, 6 innings, 11 strikeouts.
There's a check on Joyce at first base.
I was just thinking, Kenny, is this one of those trap games, you know, where you throw a complete game shutout against the Astros, you're up for that one. Then you got your rival coming in and you're up for that one. Now it's the Oakland A's, you know, and it's a little bit maybe of a letdown. We'll see what type of performance Severino gives us.
Well, they're still a major league team. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on it, missed, strike 3. Severino picks up his first strikeout of the afternoon.
Fastball command is always something we're looking for from Severino early in games, and you can't do it much better than that. Just off the plate away, you get the swing and a miss, but even if it wasn't, maybe you would have gotten a call.
Well, here's your hitter, the Oakland A's hitter that we featured in our opening. That's Chris Davis, who has homered in the first 2 games of the series. And going back to last year, he's homered in 3 straight games here at Yankee Stadium. 11 home runs puts him among the league leaders. And that pitch is in there for a call strike. Now, the last player, visiting player, the homer in 4 consecutive games, is actually in the ballpark today. And that's the A's third base coach, Matt Williams. When he was with Cleveland in 1997, he homered in 4 consecutive games at Yankee Stadium, a visiting player. Next pitch is blown outside for a ball, and it's 1-1 on Davis. Most home runs since 2016. Davis has jumped over Giancarlo Stanton with his 2 in this series. Nelson Cruz, Edwin Encarnacion, and Nolan Arenado. Big time hitters on that list. A 1-1 to count on Chris Davis. And he'll take one. Well, where was that? That just missed. It's 2-1.
Trying to get a feel for home plate umpire Quinn Walcott. Ball looked a little down. Sanchez trying to bring it back up.
The 1-1 pitch. There's a strike, and it's 2-2.
Well, we talked in the open about Davis being a mistake hitter. If you make your pitches on him, you can obviously get him out, but you make mistakes, he hits it a long way. That was a perfectly located fastball from Severino.
He also seems to like the ball up in the strike zone. 2-2 pitch. That's high, ball 3. So that will set Joyce in motion with 2 outs. And Matt Olson is on deck. Yankees win today. They have themselves a 7-2 homestand before hitting the road to Washington. Payoff pitch. Swung on it, missed, strike 3. He got him. And that'll do it. A walk and a couple of strikeouts for Severino in the first. Stay tuned. Here come the Yankees. By Alexis at the very top. Brett Gardner at the big game here yesterday. Aaron Judge will be in right field. Didi Gregorius will be at short. Cleaning up is Giancarlo Stanton. He'll be the designated hitter. Gary Sanchez will do the catching. Aaron Hicks in center. Tyler Austin will be at first base. Miguel Andujar will be at third. And batting ninth at second base, Ronald Torreyes.
Well, that lineup for the New York Yankees going to face a veteran, Brett Anderson, left-hander, done with his warm-up tosses. We'll look at his numbers on the year. Third start, the ERA inflated at 8.68. We'll look at our pitcher scouting report, brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. He was with the Cubs last year, missed 3 months because of back trouble, and coming off a rough outing. The Houston Astros beat him up 9 runs in 3 innings. And if you're a Yankee hitter, look for that slider. He throws it 42% of the time.
Well, check out these kicks that Brett Gardner's wearing this afternoon. They're pretty sharp. Anderson's first pitch is over the inside corner for a called strike.
I like the whole getup, Kenny.
Yeah.
The shoes, the socks, the bat, the gloves, the war paint. He's got it all.
would get some attention even in the bright lights of Times Square. Go get him, Brett. Ball and 1 strike.
Guess we can't call it eye black, huh?
Next pitch is fouled off. Gardner's had a good series. 3 for 6. He's walked 5 times, and he's reached safely 8 times in this series. So he's been on base. He's picked up a couple of stolen bases. He's actually 4th in the American League in base on balls with 26. He'll be followed by Judge and Gregorius for the Yankees here in the first. Bouncing ball near the bag at second. Simeon comes up with a long throw. Not in time. Gardner beats it out. He's on base again. Let's see if the A's are going to challenge this one.
We'll take another look as Brett Gardner just puts it in play with a couple of strikes. Simeon comes up with it. Maybe a little trouble with the transfer. Olsen the big stretch.
Let's see if the A's are going to challenge this. I don't know. It looks like they might have gotten him. The A's are trying to hold things up while they decide here.
No, they're not going to challenge.
They're not going to do it. Maybe there was not enough evidence there for them to challenge the play. So Gardner will be on with a leadoff hit. Yeah, looks like, wow, bang, bang play. Here's Aaron Judge. First pitch misses the inside corner for ball 1. Judge has 2 hits in this series, 2 for 9. Both of the hits are home runs. He's driven in 6 runs in 2 ball games. Ball is hit in the air to right field, hit pretty well towards the corner, and this is going to be a fair ball. The ball is up against the wall. Gardner's to third. He'll be held there, and Aaron Judge has himself a 2-base hit. So quickly, the Yankees are in business with runners at second and third and nobody out.
The Yankees off to a quick start after that long rain delay and not wasting any time as Aaron Judge going the other way, able to keep that ball fair. Brett Gardner with the infield hit. He cruises all the way to third, and the Yankees set up here in the first.
You mentioned Brett Anderson's rough outing against the Houston Astros. The Yankees are trying to jump on him right here in the first inning as Didi Gregorius will come to the plate. Didi has 1 hit in the series, just 1 for 10, but that 1 broken 0 for 30. First pitch is off the corner for ball 1. Anderson on the mound was signed by the A's on March 20th. He was a late signee. He was minor league deal. Pitch is low, ball 2. And Flash mentioned his last start against the Astros. 3 innings pitched, 10 hits, 7 runs. Didi ahead on the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Ball 3, 3-0.
Well, the scouting report on Anderson is pretty basic as Giancarlo Stanton getting ready on deck. Fastball 44% of the time, slider 42%. So pretty much a 2-pitch pitcher, an occasional curveball.
Didi taking all the way, and that is poured in there for a call strike, 3-1.
You see the fastball at about 92 and not much movement on it. So you get him in some fastball counts, you can really do some damage.
The ground ball to second would work well here. The Yankees get a run, and it also moved Judge over to third with 1 out. Let's see what Didi can do. Ground ball towards first. It's going to be foul. And the count is now full to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Infield single by Gardner, a double to the opposite field by Judge, and the Yankees are threatening here in the bottom half of the first inning. Here's your payoff pitch, and it is low for ball 4. He did not swing. So the bases are loaded and nobody out here in the bottom of the first for the Yankees. Let's take a look at the Oakland defense quickly here, presented by Geico. In the outfield, it's Joyce, Fowler, and Canna. In the infield, Chapman, Simeon, Lowry, and Olsen. Jonathan Lucroy doing the catching for Brett Anderson and trying to get him out of a major jam here in the first inning. Here's Giancarlo Stanton. 1 for 8 in the series. He had a 4-game hitting streak broken yesterday afternoon. First pitch is low for ball 1. If it's one thing that Stanton has done this year, he has worn out left-handed pitching, hitting .406 against lefties. Only one hitter in the American League has a better average against left-handers. High for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. And that hitter would be Nicholas Castellanos of the Detroit Tigers, who's hitting at even .500 against lefties this year. There's the breakdown on Stanton.
Yeah, you see 6 of the 9 home runs against the lefties, and again in a fastball count here against Brett Anderson.
Pitch is hit hard towards the middle into center field for a base hit. Gardner scores. Here comes Judge. Giancarlo Stanton with a 2-run single, and the Yankees are out on top.
Well, you get ahead in the count 2-0. You hunt that fastball. If you're Stanton, who would have loved to have gotten this up in the air, but he hits it on the ground right back up the middle. Gardner scores easily. Judge follows, and the Yankees out to a 2-0 lead. Back foot kind of slips out again. We've seen that a bunch from Stanton lately.
So Anderson still hasn't recorded an out here in the first inning. And it'll bring up Gary Sanchez. Sanchez 2 for 5 in this series with a home run. He hit his 10th here yesterday afternoon. First pitch is high and away for a ball. Now, Flash, the major league average for home runs distance is about 398 feet. Of Sanchez, Judge, and Stanton, which one do you think averages the longest home runs?
Judge.
That's a good call, but it's not him. This pitch is in there for a strike, 1-1. He's just above the major league average, 400 feet for Judge. Stanton is a little bit above the major league average at 398 feet on his home runs. This is for this year. It's Gary Sanchez, who averages 413 feet on his homers this year. That pitch misses, and it's 2 balls and a strike. So the Yankees have the big bombers, and they're all capable of hitting the ball a long way. There's Scott Emerson, the pitching coach, who maybe has seen this movie too many times. Ball 3, 3-1. Anderson had a rough first inning against the Yankees last year, May 6th at Wrigley Field. He was with the Cubs. A double, a triple, another double, a strikeout, a base hit, and a double. 1/3 of an inning, 6 hits, and 5 runs. Changeup is swung on and missed, and the count is 3-2.
Anderson slipped a little bit right there, and a changeup is unusual. I mentioned before, fastball, slider, curveball, and I guess desperate times, desperate measures, he takes a little something off.
He has never beaten the Yankees. He's 0-5 against them. Three-two pitch. Swung on and hit high and deep, but foul. And he broke his bat. That ball went a long way for a broken bat. Since 2009, the highest earned run averages against the Yankees. Roberto Hernandez, way up there. Kyle Gibson, Jason Vargas, Brett Anderson, and Gio Gonzalez. Gonzalez having a good year in Washington. He'll be the starter on Tuesday night against the Yankees. Gregorius at second, Stanton at first. The Yankees are up 2-0 here in the first inning. Pitch is hit on the ground to short. This could be 2. Simeon to Lowry on to Olsen, and it's a double play. Gregorius will move over to third, but now there's 2 outs.
Boy, did Brett Anderson need that.
Let's go back to Stan's hit on these for the StatCast here. That's just a base hit. 117 miles per hour off the bat. The major league best is 118.3. You're right. It's a good thing he didn't get that in the air, Flash.
I'm thinking that exit velocity and that back foot was slipping out, so it's probably not his A swing either. That's just a strong man.
Here's Hicks. Pitches in the dirt. Good stop by Lucroy, and it's ball one. Hicks is 1 for 8. You see the average down to 213. He's looking for a hot streak. The one hit this series for him was a home run yesterday. In fact, he and Sanchez went back to back. First time the Yankees have done that this year. Off the end of the bat, fouled off, and it's a ball and a strike on the Yankee center fielder. Switch hitter is just hitting 100 from this side of the plate, 2 for 20. That's high for a ball, 2-1. Always felt as a switch hitter, if you're going to have a one side that you're, just a little slow from, should be the right side, because you're going to get up many more times left-handed. But I think the average is about 2.5 more at bats left-handed than right-handed, because that's many more right-handers in baseball than left-handed pitchers. Next pitch is low, ball 3, 3-1. But if you can really get going right-handed, that'll help you from those prolonged slumps on the other side of the plate.
Now, did you set up in the same part of home plate from both sides?
Both sides use the same bat.
It looks to me like Aaron Hicks is way off the plate from the right side more than the left side.
You mentioned that yesterday, I believe, and I get the same feeling. Now, in this setup, you got to hit the ball well the other way, and he fouls this one off to the right. You get those pitches out over the plate, it's harder to pull them. You want to drive them to the opposite field. I used to stand off the plate both sides. I wanted the pitcher to think he could hit the outside corner. If he didn't really hit the corner, I could hit the ball well the other way. Full count now on Hicks with Gregorius at third and 2 outs. The Yankees have scored 2. Change-up is hit hard through the middle into center field for a base hit. A 2-out single. Gregorius scores, and it's now 3-0. Sounded like a broken bat single for Hicks, but he'll take it. And so will the Yankees. They're up 3-0.
We'll take another look at the pitch, and it looked like maybe a cutter or slider, and jams Hicks, but strong enough to fight it off right back up the middle. Gregorius scores, and the Yankees love those 2-out RBI base hits.
Here's Hicks yesterday. This is what you're talking about, Flash.
Yeah, that back foot definitely closer to home plate with the open stance, and then you see him right-handed off the plate a little bit more, and whatever works, he'll take it. Base hit RBI.
That'll put a smile on your face. Tyler Austin will come to the plate. And the first pitch is low for ball 1. Brett Anderson does have a very good pickoff move. I'm sure the Yankees are aware of it. Hard to steal on. Hicks is 4 out of 5 this year in the stolen base department. Here's a call strike, and it's 1-1 on Tyler Austin. .30 pitches. Anderson's had to work here in the bottom of the first inning. Here's the throw of the first. Hicks not going. Tyler Austin looking for his first hit of the homestand. He's 0 for 8. Ball is hit in the air to right field towards the corner. Coming on is Canna towards the corner, and the ball lands foul. The ball, the wall, and Canna got there all at the same time. Well, maybe Canna's a little late. So the count will move to 1-2, and Austin's at bat will continue.
Thinking about the Oakland A's here and Brett Anderson, they've used their bullpen an awful lot the last couple of days. 31 pitches already for Anderson, 3 runs on the board. You got a feeling he's going to be in there for a while trying to eat up some innings.
A 1-2 pitch is low and inside, knocked down by Lucroy. Well, after today, the A's head to Boston. They'll play the Red Sox tomorrow night. And the Yankees, of course, we mentioned they have an off day, and they're on their way to Washington. There's Bob Melvin in his 6+ year as the manager of the Oakland A's. There goes Hicks. 2-2 pitch is swung on it, missed, strike 3, and that'll do it. But the Yankees picked up 3 runs and lead 3-0. He's up 3-0. You see a lot of the players today will be swinging the pink bats, and hundreds of Major League players will swing those custom bats here on Mother's Day. And it's to raise awareness for the fight against breast cancer. Going to bat against breast cancer, Louisville Slugger makes those pink bats, and you can see them putting the logos on. And since 2006, more than 3,500 custom bats have been donated. That's over $300,000 worth of bats. And if you want one of those bats, you can purchase them at sluggercustombats.com. Here's a pitch fouled off by Matt Olson, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes on the A's first baseman. Olson, Chapman, and Canna for the A's. They are down 3-0 as the Yankees opened up with a bang this afternoon for Luis Severino. The 0-2 pitch is way upstairs, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Severino tied for first in the American League with wins with 5. Several other pitchers. Carrasco, Carlos Carrasco, Felix Hernandez, Corey Kluber, Lance McCullers, Charlie Morton, and Rick Porcello all have 5 wins. So Severino trying to break away from the pack today. 6th in the ERA. Opponent's batting average 6, strikeouts 5th, home runs allowed 2nd. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Call, strike 3. Olson caught looking. 3 consecutive strikeouts now for Severino.
Well, Severino did a nice job of changing the eye level of Olson. He threw some fastballs up, and now he goes down and away, perfectly located. Fastball has been a good weapon for the Yankees against Olson in this series.
Matt Chapman, third baseman, gets a turn. 1 for 6. The one was a home run. He'll take one high and tight, ball 1. Chapman's hit on rough times, so to speak. He's 3 for his last 41. High and in, low and away. Ball and a strike. Another slider. That one breaks out of the zone, and it's 2 balls and a strike. One thing Chapman has done in this series, he's drawn 4 walks. He's played very solid defense at third base. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. It's like Severino's getting it warmed up here.
Yeah, the velocity in the middle 90s. Obviously, we've talked a lot about how he maintains his velocity through a game, and it actually gets better as the game moves on.
Changeup is fouled straight back. Now, he spoke to Ryan Rucco in his interview before the game and said he does a lot of lower body work. That means leg work in the offseason, and he said he doesn't get tired and maintains his velocity throughout his appearance. 2-2 pitch to Chapman. Swung on it, missed, strike 3. 4 consecutive strikeouts now for Severino.
Severino threw a changeup the pitch before the strikeout that confused me a little bit because he's overpowering Chapman with the fastball. The pitch before elevates it here. Although it's only about 95, 96, which is still a big-time fastball, and it's only going to get better as the afternoon moves on.
Here's the A's right fielder, Mark Canha. 3 hits in this series and 8 trips, and there's a pitch for a call strike. Canha has struck out 4 times, though. His numbers on the season, respectable .284. Fouled off, and he's in the hole. No balls and 2 strikes. Severino's ready to go. He's in the attack mode. Ball is hit in the air. Let's see if there's room for Andujar. Over near the stands and cannot make the play. Just over the screen, about 4 rows back. Count remains, no balls and 2 strikes on Mark Canha.
Watch Severino now. He calls his own game. A couple signs of Sanchez put down. He shook off, and it just looked like he told Sanchez where he wanted this next pitch as Canha was stepping out of the batter's box.
Slider fouled back.
Going to go with that front hip slider. Sanchez setting up inside. The whole idea is to throw it right at the front hip of a right-handed hitter and break it to the inside corner. Left it out over the plate a little bit.
The 0-2 pitch in the dirt. Ball and 2 strikes. Remember Paul O'Neill making a great observation about Severino when he first came up and throwing his slider. He would throw every one of them for a strike instead of trying to throw some of them that would start in the zone then break out to get hitters to chase. And once he mastered that, he tried that with the last pitch. It didn't work. There's a changeup downstairs, 2-2.
You think about when Luis Severino was coming out of the bullpen and had all that success, he was just a thrower, right? Just throw it as hard as I can. Fastball, slider. Now when you watch him, he's a pitcher. He's thinking game plan, sliders in and out, and to your point, breaking out of the zone with 2 strikes.
2-2 pitch. Fastball is hit in the air to right field. Judge going back. He has a beat on it and makes the catch, and it's a 1-2-3 top of the second for the Oakland A's. At the end of 1.5, it's 3-0 Yankees.
I'm tired, I was playing, having fun, but she's always watching, always making sure I'm safe. So I really appreciate that looking back.
There's the first of several Mother's Day memories we will have. That was Aaron Judge speaking of his mom, who imagine that, your mom running on the field and tying your shoe for you. I think you find over the years, Flash, that there's probably no other woman that has your back like your mom. Here's Ronald Torreyes. Gleyber Torres getting the afternoon off, and the first pitch to Torreyes is in there for a call strike. By the way, during the message there, Andujar flew out to right field, so there's 1 down for the Yankees here in the 2nd inning. Torreyes getting the start. Pitches inside for a ball. This will be his 7th start at second base. He's made 5 at third and 2 at shortstop. Very versatile in the infield. Good player for a manager to have on his bench. And plus, he's hitting .347. There's a pitch for a call strike, and it's 1-2.
I think a good day for Gleyber Torres to get the day off. Followed up by an off day tomorrow. Had a rough day yesterday. 3 strikeouts, 0 for 5. So manager Aaron Boone said take a break today.
Pitch is fouled at the plate. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes. The day off today and day off tomorrow. The scheduled day off. It's 2 in a row before the Yankees head to D.C. Chases a high fastball and swings and misses, and that's the 2nd strikeout for Anderson in the 2nd out of the 2nd inning.
Well, Torreyes kind of expands up and out of the strike zone.
Now back to the top of the order. Brett Gardner had himself an infield single his first time out. Beat out a slow roller near the bag at second, and eventually scored one of the Yankee 3 runs. Anderson deals the first pitch, and a breaking ball drops in there for a strike.
That first inning did not go the way Anderson wanted it to. He's kind of changing the game plan a little bit. A big curveball there, which he doesn't throw a whole lot. We see change-ups. which he's not known for, so kind of trying to figure out a way to navigate through this lineup.
As you said, the A's bullpen really worked hard in this series. Look at these six pitchers out of the bullpen yesterday. Pitch to Gardner. Hit hard. He's got himself another base hit. He's on again. You can sense a hot streak coming from Brett Gardner. He's reached safely 10 times in this series.
Well, the infield base hit his first at bat and then really stays on a breaking ball and drives it right back up the middle, setting up Aaron Judge, who had that double in the first, scored a run.
That double was his 10th of the year. Lucroy picks that one out of the dirt. And Judge quickly jumps ahead on the count. 1 ball and no strikes. 10 of his 11 home runs are here at Yankee Stadium. Hit on the ground towards third for Chapman. Throws on the first base for the out, and the Yankees are done here the second inning. Pick up a hit, but no runs. We play 2. It's 3-0 Yankees.
Severino back to work. The Yankees an early 3-0 lead. Severino has looked sharp early in this one. It's going to be Jonathan Lucroy, Dustin Fowler, and Marcus Semien here in the third for the Oakland A's. Nothing new for Severino, quickly ahead in the count. Now 7 of 8 batters that Luis Severino has jumped out ahead with a first pitch strike. A few moms having a good time here enjoying the Yankee game.
Hopefully all the moms out there are having a good time, sitting back, relaxing, being pampered. Everybody taking care of them today.
Soft ground ball to Andujar. Easy play for him. We're going to bring in Ryan Rucco, who's going to fill us in on some injuries that are going on in the Yankee system. Ryan?
Yeah, John, here is today's injury report brought to you by Montefiore. Doing more, you see Justice Sheffield, the Yankees' top pitching prospects, were placed on the 7-day minor league DL. He was removed from his last start with left shoulder stiffness. But here's the good news. Sheffield, speaking yesterday, said he believes he'll only need a few extra days. He did the strength testing and everything along those lines, came through it fine, and only has normal soreness that he usually has after pitching. So he said it really is not as bad as it seems and thinks he will be totally fine.
Well, good news on that. Thank you very much, Ryan. Sheffield, one of the top pitching prospects in the Yankee system, just recently promoted to AAA.
Well, just one step away from the big time.
One down and bring up Dustin Fowler. See his numbers on the season. Picked up his first big league base hit here at Yankee Stadium. Getting an opportunity here with Oakland. Fowler made such a big impression with the Yankees through the system, playing center field. Yankees liked his bat, but he's part of that Sonny Gray trade and now getting an opportunity here with the A's. 44 pitches for Severino with 1 out in the third. He struck out 4, walked 1. And the velocity now starting to crank up a little bit, 97 miles an hour. And the strikeout's been a big part of his game lately. 11 his last time out against the Boston Red Sox, 10 in the complete game against the Houston Astros. Gary Sanchez giving Severino some words of encouragement. Get on top of the slider a little bit more. He goes with the changeup, misses down and in. So good at bat for Dustin Fowler. Looks a 1-out walk. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live at home, in the office, or on the go with MLB.tv. Your subscription includes MLB At-Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Second walk for Severino this afternoon. Back to the top of the lineup. Marcus Semien takes a first pitch slider for a strike.
You were talking about consecutive double-digit strikeout games for Severino. There have been several pitchers who've had Yankee pitchers who've had 3 in a row. David Cohn's one of them. Toss over to first. Fowler's back. Bob Turley, nickname was Bullet Bob. Ron Guidry had 4 in a row.
That's not surprising.
Nah, I was probably in there a few times. And Al Downing, going back to 1963, had 4 games in a row in which he had at least 10 strikeouts.
Severino with those 11 strikeouts his last outing in only 6 innings against the Red Sox, so he had it going on. Be a 1-1 to Semien. Like that changeup again, right on the outside corner. And one thing you love about Severino's changeup now, he's dropped the velocity on it to about 86. And you think about 97, 98, and then you drop an 86-mile-an-hour change.
You saw the grip, all the fingers on the ball. You throw it as hard as you can like a fastball, but it can't get to the plate as fast.
And there it is, 97 with the fastball, 86 with the changeup, 11 miles an hour. Perfect separation that you're looking for.
And Semien was late, couldn't catch up.
You have so many options now when you get a hitter thinking about the fastball. Like you said, Kenny's late. Try to throw that slider down and away, get him to cheat a little bit. You can elevate the fastball, see if he's going to chase it. Fowler does not have a big league stolen base yet, but we know he can run even after that knee injury. He's not running. The breaking ball just misses.
Sanchez tried to frame this pitch on the corner. You can see it's just off. Yep, a little bit outside.
Popped up. And Duhar coming in, looks like he's going to make the play.
That was a fair ball, the signal by the home plate umpire, Quinn Wolcott.
So 2 down, it's going to bring up left fielder Matt Joyce. He walked his first at bat against Severino. Batting average under 200 for Joyce. We spoke a little bit yesterday, though. Good numbers against the Yankees in his career. Hits this ball hard. A nice play by Tyler Austin laying out. So the Yankee defense showing up for Luis Severino here in the third. Tyler Austin gets a start at first base, making the most of it. Line drive by Joyce. Great reactions by Austin. The Yankees lead 3-0.
Gregorius is a giving, affable guy, and so he decided to celebrate Mother's Day by surprising different employees throughout the Yankees offices with bouquets of flowers. All the different moms in the Yankees organization getting hugs and flowers from the Yankees shortstop. Pretty cool deed done by DD.
Well, thank you very much, Ryan.
It is pretty cool.
Not only does he deliver the flowers, a big smile, a couple of hugs. Big Gregorius, Giancarlo Stanton, and Gary Sanchez here in the bottom of the third. Yankees lead 3-0, 5 hits. Gregorius walked in the first inning, scored a run, broke out of that big slump yesterday. Looking to get back on track.
Now, as hot as he was, he kind of carried the team in April.
Big swing and a miss.
And we were talking about this before the game. It's very rare, maybe only a few games a year, where everybody gets hits in a ball game. Somebody's going to come up empty. And during the course of a year, if you have 6 guys hitting pretty well and 3 in a lineup, kind of scuffling, you're still going to win games.
Yeah, the hitting instructor will sign up for that any day.
Yep.
Be a 3-2 from Anderson. Gregorius, a ground ball to first base. Olsen up with it.
Olsen didn't hesitate to go to the bag because I think he realized that Anderson was not going to beat Didi to first base. The left-hander, of course, falling off the mound towards the third base side. Anderson comes up with it, and I should say Olsen comes up with it. Anderson over towards first, and Didi's retired.
With one down, bring up Giancarlo Stanton. Had that base hit, a couple of RBIs his first at bat, and Kenny told you, just wearing out left-handed pitching this year. See, with that closed stance, picks up the baseball out of lefty's hands as he drills this one to left center field. It's going to fall down in front of Dustin Fowler for another base hit against the left-handed pitcher for Stanton.
This good hitting against lefties. Now he's well over 400 against him. Came in at 406. He's 2 for 2 today. I think Flash, eventually that's going to start to bleed over against the right-handed pitchers. It seems to me the righties this year have gone with that slider down and away, try and jam them, and then go down and away. And they're not going to continue to throw pitches on both corners. Eventually they'll get towards the middle of the plate.
Yeah, it just seems like lefties don't get the ball in on him, right? The righties can try to get it in there. Lefties stay away predominantly. We'll bring up Gary Sanchez, grounded into a 6-4-3 double play in the first. Got a base hit the other way in yesterday's ball game, and a big hole between first and second. As Jed Lowry shading him up the middle. And an opportunity to go the other way if Gary Sanchez chooses to do so.
Stanton had the shortest of leads over there at first base, but I wouldn't go to sleep with him over there. He's, one thing I've noticed about him, hustling down the first base line, he beats out double play relays.
He's got a couple of stolen bases on the year.
Yep, and he can go first to third on a base hit. Not just the slugger. You keep falling behind these big guys. Eventually, somebody jumps on one.
Anderson coming off a rough outing his last time against the Houston Astros. Trying to fill in this rotation, and it looks like he threw a changeup on a 2-1 count. Sanchez way out in front.
That was a good one. Sanchez checking with home plate umpire Quinn Wolcott to see if that was a strike. Have you ever done that, Flash? You asked the umpire if it would have been a strike, and he says, yeah, it was after you swung at it.
Watching Anderson throw this changeup, and we get a look at Gary Sanchez from the side way out in front, and I'm sure that was not part of the scouting report. I looked up the numbers. The fastball's down and in, gets away from Lucroy, so Stanton advances into scoring position.
It kind of takes away the possibility of a ground ball double play.
But it reminded me as we take another look. He yanks it down and in, and Lucroy gets caught with the glove going the wrong way. That's going to be a wild pitch.
I knew you would notice that.
But watching him come up with this changeup, it reminds me of Mike Mussina when I caught him back in the day. Sanchez hits a weak ground ball to third. Chapman coming in. Nice play.
Man, he's got a strong arm, doesn't he?
He might not be swinging the bat right now, but that glove shows up every day.
Oh, yeah. For a little while, it looked like Sanchez would beat it out, but here's that strong arm we were talking about. We told you about that in the opening game of the series. He has saved a lot of runs defensively at third base, and you're right. There's several ways to help your team. There's a throw to stretch by Olsen that gets Sanchez by about a step. He's about 3 for his last 42. But his glove is looking more and more like gold over there at third base.
2 down, bring up Aaron Hicks. Had a big 2-out RBI base hit his first at bat. Nice play by Lucroy to block it. But getting back to Anderson and his changeup, Mike Mussina, I was catching him at Fenway Park, was getting lit up for the first couple of innings. Calls me out to the mound and he says, when you put down the hook 'em horn sign, it's going to be a split finger fastball. I said, you don't throw a split finger fastball. He said, tonight I do. And he came up with it on the fly through 6 innings, gave whatever he had given up, kept us in the ball game. Kind of reminds me of that, watching Anderson flipping in some
Changeups, which was not on the scouting report. 60 pitches.
Are you saying he just started throwing it
in the 3rd inning at Fenway Park, Red Sox Yankees? I'm just going to come up with it because I have nothing else going on. The beauty of Mike Mussina.
Fenway Park is where he pitched that almost perfect game. Gave up the hit to Carl Everett with 2 strikes in the 9th inning and 2 outs. I remember I was in the car riding with my youngest son, Dante, big Yankee fan, and he heard Carl Everett get that hit. I had to console him for about 15 miles until we got home. He was really upset.
It's a 2-1 to Hicks. This ball back up the middle. Lowry's going to be there to make the play.
So Anderson got himself in a little bit of trouble, able to work his way out of it. Yankees had an opportunity, can't capitalize. It's time for today's conversation, which is brought to you by Toyota. The Camry Hybrid is the official hybrid vehicle of the New York Yankees. The question, how did your mother influence your love of the Yankees while you were growing up? The authentic Max says, my mom used to bring me to games on the train all the way from Long Island. She even brought me a non-alcoholic sparkling cider to pop in '09.
Think about the things that your mom and not only your baseball but just everything.
Follow the Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag Yankees Camry Hybrid to keep the conversation going.
Yeah, my mom could set me straight too. There's no doubt about that.
Severino back out there for the top of the 4th. It'll be Jed Lowry, Chris Davis, and Matt Olson on our Audi scoreboard. 3 runs for the Yankees, 6 hits. Lowry a strikeout victim in the 1st. Hits this ball hard to right center field. It's going to be a base hit for Lowry. Hicks cuts it off. It's time to look at our Jeep hitters scatter report for Chris Davis. It's 5th straight game yesterday that he had an RBI, and he has 35 RBIs on the year. That's a second in the American League coming in. And last year for the Oakland A's, a career high 43 home runs. So kind of playing in Oakland maybe gets overlooked a little bit, but putting up some big time power numbers. First hit of the afternoon for the Oakland A's by Lowry. He takes his lead off of first. Davis at the plate. Fouls one straight back.
And one thing you notice about Davis, he doesn't get cheated when he swings the bat. He really thinking about the long ball. And why not? He's hit more than anybody else since 2016.
Well, the career high in home runs last year, Kenny. And how many hitters do you see who just kind of standing straight up, not a whole lot of movement? Obviously has to be big and strong to generate that kind of bat speed as Severino powers a fastball by him. Quickly out ahead in the count 0-2. Straight up stance, a little wiggle with his hands, and then he lets it fly. Severino gets the outside corner for his 5th strikeout of the afternoon. Perfect 0-2 pitch.
If this catches the corner, it catches just a hint of it. And maybe not, but it's still good enough for the home plate umpire Quinn Walcott. Davis is out of there.
With one down, will bring up Matt Olson playing first base today. He struck out lead off the second inning. Lowry taking his lead. The Oakland A's do not run much at all. Lowry does not have a stolen base this year.
As a team, I think they have 7 steals.
Matt Olson looking to get it going a little bit. Last year had 13 home runs in the month of September. Big time power hitter.
.97 miles an hour consistently.
I like what Severino did just there, though. Not happy with the location. Kind of steps off the back of the mound, regroups a little bit. Big swing and a miss on another fastball, and the ability to kind of self-correct during games and take a deep breath when you need to, slow it down. All of these things have kind of taken Severino to the next level as you see the fastball velocity.
Still just 24 years old. You know, you're talking about the harder throwers there, and you saw that list of the pitchers with the best fastballs. And I don't know about how the way you felt, Flash. You're facing somebody throwing really hard. Even when you took a pitch for a ball, man, you were impressed. Man, I got to be ready.
The worst feeling as a hitter is when you have to cheat, and there's a fastball right down the middle, right by Olson. Fast pitch speed analytics is brought to you by Fios by Verizon. That was 98 miles an hour. Here's my best fastball down the middle, and I don't think you can hit it. 6 strikeouts now for Severino.
It's like you ever see those cowboy shows with the gunslingers in the Old West, and they have those duels in the middle of the street? Who's the fastest? Severino right there. He's a little too fast for Olson.
Right down the middle. With 2 down, it's going to bring up Matt Chapman. He struck out his first at bat. Batting average now down to .218 for Chapman. Yankees shading Chapman to pull in the infield. Severino checks on Lowry. The 70th pitch coming from Severino. He's been in control, but he's had to work a little bit. And a ground ball, Torreyes lays out, comes up with it. The flip to Didi, not in time. A good play by Torreyes getting there, but not able to execute the play. Be an infield base hit.
Good layout on the play by Torreyes. Now trying to make the accurate throw. I'm not so sure it would have been in time anyway. You take a look at this on Yes Mo. Brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. Yeah, the transfer was a little slow, as you might expect, from laying on the ground. Man, that was a close play at second. That would have been a spectacular force play.
So the A's threatening here in the 4th. Couple of runners on with 2 outs. Bring up Mark Cano. Flew out to Aaron Judge in right field his first at bat. First pitch swinging and a line drive right at Andujar. So the Yankees defense showing up today in support of Severino. They lead 3-0.
Our trivia question, but before the question comes up, I have to mention Aaron Judge finished 2nd in the MVP and Luis Severino finished 3rd in the Cy Young last year. So now the question, can you name the only time in Yankees history when teammates won the MVP and the Cy Young award in the same season?
Ooh. You said the only time?
The only time. MVP and Cy Young in the same season is Tyler Austin. It's a ground ball to 3rd. Chapman up with it. 1 down.
I think I know that one.
Rowdy scoreboard. The Yankees lead 3-0. Scored 3 in the first off of Anderson. He's settled down since, trying to eat up some innings for that bullpen that has been worked a lot lately. One down, I'll bring up Miguel Andujar. He had a fly ball to right field his first at bat.
Andujar working on a 5-game hitting streak.
Andujar leads major league rookies with 16 extra base hits and 12 multi-hit games. Hits this ball back up the middle. Semien goes to his left. The throw and gets Andujar by a half a step. Well, we talked about the A's bullpen and how much they have worked. 164 pitches thrown in 9 1/3 innings this series. So manager Bob Melvin would love to give them a little bit of a break. Anderson has settled down. 2 down will bring up Ronald Torreyes. Struck out his first at bat.
Now you see some hitters who quite often will take that first pitch right away. Coming to mind is Mike Trout. He's known for taking the first pitch. Ronald Torreyes, that's not in his playbook.
I love his attitude. Hey, when you're a backup player, go up there and try to ambush somebody. And, you know, Reggie Jackson gave me that advice when I made the Yankee team. He said, listen, you're only going to play once a week. Your at-bats should not go more than 3 pitches. Get up there, and they're not thinking about you. They're thinking about Bernie and Derek and all these other guys. It's a fastball, misses badly. And he was right.
Well, what is he saying? Be introduced and go up there and
let it fly.
Swing.
You see 3 or more pitches, you're in big trouble. He was 100% right.
Mr. October.
Here's the 4th pitch to Torreyes, and he
Slaps one the other way. It's going to be a fair ball. Down into the corner in right field. Kind of up with it, but Ronald Torreyes, a 2-out double.
How many pitches did he see?
4.
4 pitches. So the 4th one's put in play. Down the right field line, just cutting and slashing. Well hit. Out just on the corner. Slashes it the other way. 2-base hit. The Yankees have a runner in scoring position. Torreyes came in hitting .347. So the 1 for 3, 1 for 2, his average gets bumped up a little bit.
A 2 down will bring up Brett Gardner, having a good afternoon. An infield single and a hard line drive right back up the middle against the lefty Anderson. First pitch swinging, fouls it off. Average now up to 232.
I've mentioned this time of year you can climb in a hurry. Start throwing those multi-hit games in there.
It's this ball hard right at Lowry. Nice backhand to make the play. So Gardner hitting the ball hard this afternoon. Nothing to show for it right there. The Yankees lead 3-0.
Bob on our GMC scoreboard. Yankees are up 3-0. And you hear the music. We're going to have a base hit for Jonathan Lucroy to get things started in the 5th inning. All right, let's go to the trivia answer here. Can you name the only time in Yankees history when the teammates won the MVP and the Cy Young? I think it was that great 1961 season when Roger Maris had 61 home runs and Whitey Ford went 25-4.
Wow, you were all over that.
Well, that was a great year.
You know what? I was thinking the Thurman Munson, Ron Guidry time. Did either of those guys win an MVP?
It was close. Guidry won the Cy Young in '78, I believe, and Munson won the MVP in '76.
All right, so it wasn't completely off on this.
No, it was in the same neighborhood. Dustin Fowler will come up. The A's have picked up their 3rd hit, and he pops it up to the left side. Let's see who's going to make the play. It's going to be Brett Gardner. The left fielder comes on, and there's one down. Fowler is now 0 for 1 after drawing a walk his first time. Now the year that Guidry what was he, 25-3 that year? Yeah, 25-3. A lot of people thought he should have won the MVP as well as the Cy Young. You know, after hitting against him that year, I wouldn't have argued with it. Top of the order, Marcus Semien, 0 for 2. And he took a pitch over the inside corner for a call strike.
You know, Kenny, I was at the Yogi Berra Awards banquet a couple of weeks ago benefiting Yogi's museum, and I had a great conversation with Gator just about pitching, and he made it just sound so simple. You know, establish your fastball is the most important thing in his mind, and you get the hitter respecting your fastball, everything else falls into place.
He had a nasty, nasty slider. Just, you were always aware of it in your mind. His ground ball through the hole and into left field for a base hit. And the A's have put 2 men on here with 1 out in the 5th inning. Yankees are up 3-0.
You know, I was always a big Thurman Munson guy growing up here in New York, so I'd always heard rumors that Thurman Munson didn't even have to put signs down, that Ron Guidry and Thurman knew exactly what they wanted to do. And here you see the resume, 14 years, 78 to Cy Young. And I asked Ron Guidry about that, and he said, John, it was very simple. I'm going to throw fastballs early, and I'm going to finish you with the slider. And Munson didn't even have to put down signs. 25-3, 3 losses for Guidry. Milwaukee, Baltimore, and Toronto got him that year. 9 shutouts that year.
Pitch is in there for a strike to Matt Joyce.
Think we're ever going to see that again? 9 shutouts in a year?
I was just reading about Bob Gibson in 1968, where he had 12 starts, 8 shutouts in 12 starts. Pitch is fouled off, and Joyce is in the hole, no balls and 2 strikes. Second inning in a row that the A's have put 2 men on against Severino. And the only problem Severino has in this particular game right now, besides the 2 men on here, 79 pitches. Pitch count is up there. A ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, he lost to 3 pitchers with the first name Mike that year. And the game he lost to Baltimore, he should not have lost to us.
No?
Yeah, 2 unearned runs. 2-1. Ball is hit in the air, and this is going to make the seats. And out of play. With 2 outs, I think it was in the 8th or 7th, 8th inning, Bucky Dent made an error. And Doug DeCinces hit the next pitch. One of the hardest home runs I've ever seen hit at the old stadium. 2-run homer, put us ahead 2-1. Came back in the dugout. Flanagan was sitting there. He says, "You better hold him. We're not getting any more runs." And we were able to win. 1-2 pitch. And to show you how history could have changed for a ball club, I was reading a part in Gator's new book that when the Yankees and the Orioles made that trade that sent Rick Dempsey and Tippy Martinez to Baltimore, the Orioles wanted Ron Guidry. But the Yankees wouldn't give him up. Here's call strike 3. Joyce is out of there. And that is the second out of the inning. Strikeout number 7. So Tippy Martinez turned out to be a good reliever. But the Orioles wanted Guidry. That's almost right down the middle.
Yeah, probably got caught guessing, looking for another pitch.
I thought it was tough to guess with 2 strikes. You got to react. So 2 on, 2 down. And here's Jed Lowry. Struck out and singled. First pitch a little bit low for ball 1. Pitch is lined. It's going to be a base hit. They're going to wave the runner home. Here comes the throw from Judge, and it is, not in time. As Lucroy scores, Sanchez couldn't hold the throw. On the play, Simeon's going to go to third base. Looked like the throw was there in time.
I'll tell you what, Aaron Judge out in right center field was not moving at all towards home plate, so that was all arm strength. Just letting it fly right there, and it looked like if Sanchez maybe comes up with a clean, I mean, this is in right center field. On a line. Short hop Sanchez couldn't come up with. Tough play for a catcher. That short hop is basically the do or die play. Maybe if he just goes out there a little bit.
So it's now a 3-1 game, and Chris Davis will take a pitch down for a ball.
As a catcher, you have to make a decision. As you see where Judge is in right center field, just kind of flat-footed. And if you're a catcher in Sanchez here, your decision is, do I go out and catch it and try to get back in time, or do I lay back towards home plate and try to play a short hop and get lucky? Couldn't come up with it. Kind of got caught in between.
Now 1st and 3rd and 2 outs and a run in for Oakland. Davis has been up twice and struck out twice. Swinging in the 1st inning, caught looking in 4th.
Severino's got to get tough right here. This game had to feel that it was going to be a laugher as the Yankees scored 3 runs in the 1st inning. And they've settled down a little bit, and one swing of the bat here by Chris Davis. Big part of this game.
Ball and a strike on Davis.
Take another look at Sanchez and the decision he has at home plate right here. Do you go get it, catch it cleanly and come back, or do you lay back at home plate and play the short hop? Probably looking back on it, short hop would have given him the best shot of making the play.
Good slide by Lucroy. Pitch is fouled off by Davis. He's behind on the count, a ball and 2 strikes. The average is low, but the home runs and runs batted in are up there among the league leaders. On base percentage below 30%. Severino finally touched up for a run here in the top of the 5th. Pitch is hit high in the air to center field and deep. Going back is Hicks on the warning track and makes the catch for the final out here in the top of the 5th inning. But the A's pick up a hit. Pick up 3 hits in a run. Yankees lead. Yes is brought to you in part by Hyundai. Get a great deal more than a great deal on an all-new Hyundai vehicles. See your Hyundai dealer today. By People's United Bank, where the technology is as helpful as the people. And by GMC. Visit TriStateGMC.com for great lease offers. 3-1 Yankees. As we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, Aaron Judge has doubled and scored and grounded to 3rd. Brett Anderson gave up 3 in the 1st, has settled down since then, and Judge takes a pitch a little bit low for ball 1. We mentioned that on our GMC scoreboard it's 3-1 Yankees. As Judge takes a pitch low for ball 2, that 10 of his 11 home runs this year have come at Yankee Stadium. The only one he's hit on the road, that was back on April 10th at Boston against Chris Sale. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-1. That kind of took the air out of the ballpark. Three balls and a strike. Full count as a 3-1 changeup hits the corner. Payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Another changeup. So Judge is out of there. 3rd strikeout for Anderson.
Well, unusual to see Aaron Judge go out of the strike zone. He's been so disciplined this year taking his walks, but fooled by a changeup.
Speaking of walks, Gregorius walked in the 1st inning, scored, and grounded out. 33 pitches in the 1st inning, and since then he has settled down somewhat. Ball 1 to Gregorius. And they were getting to the tack-on portion of the game for the Yankees. You want to score a few more runs, make it even more difficult for the A's to catch up. That pitch hits the corner, 1-1. On deck is Giancarlo Stanton. Rain delay at the beginning of this ball game. Would you say, Flash? How long was it?
2:45.
2:45. Ground ball, and it was off the foot of Gregorius. And he's going to hop around for a moment here to recover.
The top of the foot looked like it maybe caught a piece of that guard on top of the foot.
Still hurts. So we want to thank all of you that stayed with us and are watching on this Mother's Day Sunday. Here's the next pitch. Broken bat over to Lowry, over to Olsen, and now there are 2 down. So quickly 2 up and 2 down here in the 5th inning. And it'll bring up Stanton, who drove in 2 of the 3 runs in the 1st inning with a bases loaded single, and he also had another hit. So 2 for 2 on the afternoon. Now with 25 runs batted in on the season. Today is game number 40 for the Yankees. So you figure we're about a quarter of the way through the season. He's got 25 runs batted, on pace for 100. Hasn't really gotten hot yet either. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and that misses. 2 balls and no strikes.
That's a big reason we were talking before about Stanton and his numbers against lefties. See Anderson try to go in, but he can't throw a strike in there. So if you're Stanton, you can just look out over the plate, try to do your damage the other way.
He does have good power to the opposite field. 2-1 pitch is hit high in the air, deep right center field. Fowler going back near the warning track, near the wall. This one is gone. A home run for Giancarlo Stanton. He's 3 for 3 on the afternoon, and that's his 10th home run of the year. And it's now 4-1 Yankees. What do we say? Good power to the opposite field?
And the numbers against the left-handed pitching are now improving. They're already awesome, and he's just doing a better job today. 3 hits, his 10th home run of the year. And when you're not worried about the inner part of the plate, you can look out over and do your damage, and that's exactly what happened. Lucroy wants it in. Anderson doesn't get it there. Stanton looking away. Right into the Yankee bullpen for home run number 10.
Here's Sanchez, who hit his 10th home run of the year here yesterday. And he'll take a pitch for a call strike. And just wearing out left-handers. Giancarlo Stanton. Sanchez 0 for 2 today. He's wrapped into a double play and grounded out to third. Swing and a miss, and it's a ball and 2 strikes on Sanchez. Here's exit velocity 108, distance 403. Hit the single harder than the home run.
Looked like he just kind of scooped that ball up in the air.
Got one to go.
Yep.
Good swing by Sanchez as he fouls this one back. Two and 2 on the Yankee catcher. Well, the Yankees have indeed tacked on a run here in the 5th. Full count now on Gary Sanchez. courtesy of the Stanton home run. Here's your payoff pitch, and Sanchez lays off, and he draws a 2-out walk. That is just his second walk handed out by Mr. Anderson. Well, the A's look like they're going to start their bullpen. Scott Emerson, pitching coach, on the phone. As Hicks will get a chance here. Hicks had an RBI single in the first, grounded to second in the third. Check swing, takes it over the corner for his call strike. Now, what is Anderson doing differently these last few innings that he didn't do in the first inning?
Well, he's definitely throwing the changeup more. Good one there. I think that surprised the Yankees from the second inning on. It was definitely not in the scouting report.
You know, maybe after you get roughed up, you got to think of, you know, the Astros took care of him. And Santiago Casilla getting up in the A's bullpen. That's in there for call, strike 3. So Hicks is caught looking, but the Yankees add another run here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Giancarlo Stanton driven in 3 of the 4 runs, 1 on this long home run.
Eventually it'll happen to where he really gets rolling, but in the meantime, I'm just excited that he continues to have a presence. He continues to impact us winning ball games. And when that comes where he gets really hot, it will happen, and hopefully it's sooner rather than later, but it's not something I worry about.
Well, it looks like it's going to be sooner. As Aaron Boone was speaking of Giancarlo Stanton before the game at his press conference, and Stanton today has answered big time. Manager has confidence he'll get the job done. 3 for 3 with 3 runs batted in today. Severino back on the mound. Yankees up 4-1 here in the top half of the 6th inning. Facing Matt Olson, Olson's up there with an 0-2 count, and he's already struck out twice.
Yeah, Olson can't handle the fastball from Severino.
He pops this one up. Now Sanchez come back for a look. Does he have a play? Nope, he does not. And the count holds it. No balls and 2 strikes. Severino is allowed a run on 5 hits. Now he too is up there in the pitch count, up there to 92.
I was just looking at that, and you know, he's worked hard his last 2 outings, 109, 110 pitches.
Ball and 2 strikes on Olson. Olson, Chapman, and Canna. Well, the A's here in the 6th.
If you're Severino against Olson, just don't make a mistake with the breaking ball. You can overpower him with the fastball.
Late on a fastball, fouls it back.
You feel like you have to throw breaking balls, but you want to make sure they're not in the strike zone to do Olson a favor. The pitches by inning been pretty consistently high for Severino.
Another fastball fouled off. Severino trying to pick up his 6th win of the year. He's undefeated in his last 5 starts. And the Yankees have won his last 8 starts here at Yankee Stadium, going back to last year. Pitch is fouled off again. Olson throwing up a tough at bat here. Two and 2. Severino 7 strikeouts through 5 innings. He's walked a couple. Little chopper, and this is going to twist foul. Olson's going to have to turn around and come back. He's fouled off a lot of pitches in his at bat. Flash, you ever have a pita bread? How do you spell it? P-I-T-A?
Yes.
Every once in a while, a hitter will throw a pitcher one of those pita at bats. Pain in the at bats.
Well,
You can't put them away.
The 10th pitch of the at bat coming up right here.
Yeah. Here's the pitch. It's popped up and it's into left field. So Severino's going to win the battle as Gardner puts this away for out number 1 here in the 6th. Well, fans, this summer the World Cup is coming to Fox and FS1. Every match live and over 300 hours of coverage. The world's biggest sporting event begins June 14th on Fox and FS1. So 1 down here in the 6th. I'm going to bring up Matt Chapman. Chapman is struck out and he's also singled. Strike 1 call. Severino pours it in there for a strike. 99 miles an hour.
Yes.
That was his 100th pitch.
I think he's sensing the finish line is near. All of a sudden the pace is picking up a little bit for Severino. Velocity picking up a little bit. He's thrown 112 pitches in a game this year. That's a season high.
2 balls and a strike on Chapman. 42 pitches of 99 miles per hour plus most among major league starters. Next highest is Ohtani with 24. Ohtani's pitching tonight, I believe, or today. There's a swing and a miss. And I just missed 99. That was 98. I think Ohtani's pitching against the Twins today. Foul back by Chapman, and as I look at the scoreboard, no score out in Anaheim at the end of 5. And Ohtani has struck out 9 Twin batters in 4 innings. Ground ball to the right side. Torres is going to have to come on the run here. He does. Throws quickly, and in time for the out is Tyler Austin. Maintains contact with the bag. So 2 down. See the numbers on Ohtani. Well, he's pitching pretty well today. 4 innings, 3 hits, no runs, no walks, and 9 strikeouts.
You see Torres, the shift was on, so this play is on the move to throw a little high, and Tyler Austin hangs in there, gets his foot back down on the bag.
2 outs, nobody on, and Mark Canha will come up. He has flied to right, line to third. This could be, well, there's nobody warming up. You would think if he gets him out, it's a high fly ball towards left field. He's going to make the play. I think it's going to be Gardner, and that's it. That might have been Severino's last pitch of the afternoon. The Yankees lead 4-1 as we head to the bottom of the 6th.
For Mother's Day, what stands out for me memory-wise is just the times where we've been able as a family, my wife, my mom being in town, going to church together, going to brunch,
Kind of spending the day together when the weather's great. Those are the things that stand out when I think of my wife and my mom on Mother's Day.
You know, Kenny, Aaron Boone expanded upon those thoughts before the game, talking about how his mom was really the ultimate baseball mom. At one point, she had 2 sons in the major leagues, a husband who was managing, and another son who was in the minor leagues, juggling it all, making sure she could watch it all.
First pitch, Tyler Austin is popped into right field for Canha. He's going to make the catch for the out. New pitcher is Santiago Casilla, by the way.
And that she, you know, whether it was driving them to their games and somehow juggling all of them being in 3 different places as children, or just staying on top of things when one kid's on the West Coast and the other one's playing East, or there's an 8 o'clock start and a 7 o'clock start, and just amazed at how she has been able to consume it all. And she actually has told him in a great story in the Post today about this, that she's more nervous now with him as manager than ever before watching him.
First pitch to Andujar is upstairs for ball 1. Now, you and I were both at Aaron Boone's press conference before the game, and he also mentioned when he was a youngster that you know, with his brothers playing Little League ball and his dad being a major league player, that the dad would come out the worst of the end. There's a ball line off the glove of Olsen, and Andujar is going to be safe. That his mother said that at least she could listen to the ball game, major league game, on the radio while she was going to watch the kids play.
A line drive from Andujar going the other way. Olsen makes a nice bid, can't keep control of it. It's going to be a base hit for Andujar.
So he's on with one out. And here's the end of last inning, and Severino looks like shaking hands. And Gary Sanchez talking with Larry Rothschild about what's been happening in this ball game. A lot of schooling going on in the dugout during the course of games. Torreyes slashes one foul, just foul down the third base side. There's one pitch to Torreyes. His at-bats are usually 3.16 per plate appearance. That's the number of pitches he sees. Of 174 American League players with 50 or more plate appearances, that's the fewest. His at-bats in quickly.
See, Reggie Jackson would be proud of that if you're a bench player. Get up there and get it over with quickly.
Go up there cutting and slashing. Andujar's on the move. The pitch is inside. The throw to second is not in time. A stolen base. That was a tough play for Lucroy to make the throw. And Andujar picks up a stolen base. I believe that's his first major league steal.
You see the throw from Lucroy is low, and Lowry just trying to keep it in front so it doesn't go into center field.
He did have one last year in his debut game against the White Sox. So a runner in scoring position for Torreyes with a ball and a strike. Trying to check his swing, goes around too far, and it's 1-2.
So I talked about Reggie Jackson, then the advice being a bench player, right? Get it done early, 3 pitches or less. And he finished it off by saying, you know what, in this case, the Oakland A's should be on the bus going to the airport thinking it wasn't Derek Jeter, it wasn't Bernie Williams, it was John Flaherty who got us today. So that would be the ultimate compliment. And that's, you know, Torreyes looking for an RBI right here.
.49 at bats coming into the game with 6 runs batted in for Torreyes. It's Jason Shreve in the Yankee pen. Another foul ball off the bat of Torreyes. Yankees trying to make it 2 out of 3. And I like to call it 2 out of 3 the hard way after you lose the first one. Torreyes tired of waiting on Casillas, steps out. Casillas worked an inning here yesterday. Didn't give up a run, but he did walk 3 Yankees. With a runner on second, they got to get on the same page here. The A's have 4 mound visits remaining. The Yankees have all 6 of theirs. Torreyes lifts a fly ball to right field. Canna coming on. That's going to be out number 2 with Andujar remaining at second base. And now back to the top of the order and Brett Gardner. who's hit the ball hard. Well, he's hit the ball hard twice and had an infield single. 2 for 3. The Yankee bullpen is busy. We saw Shreve. Now there's a right-hander out there with him. Chad Green worked here yesterday. Was spectacular. Faced 3, struck them all out. There's a call strike to Brett Gardner. Gardner now 5 for 9 in this series against the A's. Foul tip to look off the glove of Lucroy, and it's 0-2. Aaron Judge looming on deck. Call, strike 3. Backdoor breaking ball gets Gardner looking. The Yankees pick up a hit, nothing else. We're going to move on to the 7th inning. The Yankees are up 4-1 on the Oakland A's.
Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Delta. More destinations from New York City than any other airline. Good things come to those who go. Delta, keep climbing. And by Ford, the official truck of the New York Yankees. Top of the 7th, manager Aaron Boone making the pitching change. It'll be Chad Green, his 18th appearance, a 2.57 ERA. And like Kenny already told you, an outstanding effort yesterday from Green, a perfect 8th inning, striking out the side. It's going to be 8-9-1 for the A's. Lucroy, Fowler, and Semien. Chapman up in the Yankee bullpen. Interesting here, only in the 7th inning, as Lucroy fouls off a good fastball from Green.
You know, maybe he's just testing that, you know, they had a nail problem yesterday. Maybe he's just testing to see how it is. And maybe he'll show up in the customary 9th inning, but just tossing a few to the mitt to see that finger feels on the pitching hand.
You know, 2 to Lucroy, fastball up, he holds up. Our Cadillac scoreboard, Yankees lead 4-1, 9 hits for the Yankees, 5 for the Oakland A's. Had 1 error for the Yankees, a throwing error in Aaron Judge in right field. Well, to recap Luis Severino's afternoon, the 21st start since 2017 with no runs or 1 run allowed. That is the most in Major League Baseball. So Severino had to work a little bit. Pitch count elevated. Able to work through 6 innings, 1 run. 7 strikeouts. There's a strikeout for Chad Green. Now a quick word from Spectrum.
Spectrum Internet. No data caps, no contracts. Just faster speeds with better performance.
With 1 down, will bring up Dustin Fowler. He walked and flew out to left field
against Severino.
Chad Green, the master of the high riding fastball. You saw him blow away Lucroy. As they say that, he throws a fastball in the dirt at 97 miles an hour.
Looks like he got a piece of Gary Sanchez, too, maybe his left forearm.
And this is why Quinn Walcott's taking a little. He's going to walk the ball out to Chad Green. It looked like it just rolled up the arm, maybe got to the elbow. No, he walked the ball out there to give Sanchez a little bit more time to recover from that shock to the left arm.
Throw a little ice on it after the game and get ready for the National Series. It's a good swing by Fowler. Fouls it straight back. Nationals playing a little better baseball lately, right?
Yeah, they have been. They're playing tonight. They're playing the national game against Arizona. They're out playing the Diamondbacks. Let's see where they are in the standings in the American League. They're a game and a half back. They're 5 games over 500. They've won 3 in a row.
The 2-2 on Fowler. Fouls it off the other way.
Your former teammate Dave Martinez is the new manager of the Washington Nationals.
These are going to be the probables on Tuesday. Tanaka against Gonzalez and Sabathia on Wednesday against Tanner Rourke. Davey Martinez has that team in a 12-2 roll lately. Unusual to be a first-year manager and you inherit a very good ball club with playoff expectations.
You got 3 managers in that mode this year. Alex Cora, Aaron Boone, Davey Martinez.
It's a 2-2. Fly ball. Gardner coming in. 2 down here in the 7th.
Usually when new managers come in, they come into teams that are rebuilding. And that means new managers are going to have to wait a few years before the team can contend. Well, these managers came in with teams that are capable of winning the world title.
2 down, back to the top of the lineup, Marcus Semien.
1 for 3. The Yankees leading 4-1, trying to take this final game of a 3-game set, take 2 or 3 from the A's. As Semien hits it the other way, a line drive, but right at Tyler Austin. So Chad Green, a perfect inning in yesterday's ball game, and a 1-2-3 inning here in the 7th. On our Cadillac scoreboard, the Yankees lead 4-1. It'll be Judge, Gregorius, and Stanton coming up in the bottom half. And we are now going to honor our nation and stay for God Bless America.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise and remove your caps? And please direct your attention to the area behind home plate as the New York Yankees welcome an honored military guest on this Mother's Day. United States Army Master Sergeant Yanitza Arias from Washington Heights, who has served in New York City for the past 18 years. She is joined by her family, including her husband, United States Army Staff Sergeant Johnny Ellis.
The Yankees say thank you for your sacrifice and service to our nation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please join in Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
It's time for the game summary, which is brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. Yankees lead 4-1. Brett Anderson battled his way through 5 innings. Severino 6 innings, 1 run. Stanton a big day, 3 for 3, a home run, 3 RBIs, and Aaron Hicks with that 2-out RBI single. Bob Lorenz had a long day in that Yes Network studio, right? Doing some rain delay coverage by himself.
Working solo.
He usually doesn't like having Jack Curry and myself in the studio, but you know he was missing us today with that rain delay coverage.
Well, it's more candy for him.
You got that right. Casilla back out for his second inning of relief work. It'll be Aaron Judge, Didi Gregorius, and Giancarlo Stanton. As Dellin Betances getting loose in the Yankee bullpen. Aaron Judge with a double in the first inning, a ground ball to third in the second, and he struck out in the fifth on our Cadillac scoreboard. Yankees lead 4-1.
Now Judge has 11 home runs. Gregorius, Sanchez, and now Stanton with 10. The Yankees are the fourth team to have 4 players with 10 or more home runs through 40 games. And we'll tell you who the other 3 teams were. The 1964 Twins, Harmon Killebrew, Bob Allison, Jimmy Hall, and Tony Oliva. The 2000 Blue Jays, Jose Cruz Jr., Carlos Delgado, Tony Batista, and Raul Mondesi. And the 2003 Rangers. They had Carl Everett, Juan Gonzalez, Alex Rodriguez, and Rafael Palmeiro. So that's quite a combo. A quartet, we should say.
11 home runs for Aaron Judge, and he's adding the count here 3-1. See if Casilla challenges him with a fastball, and he does. Popped up. Gonna find the seats. Well, that look by Aaron Judge says it all, right? You get a fastball right there and you foul it off. You just shake your head a little bit.
And a couple of reasons why. You're leading off the inning. You figure you're going to get a fastball. He got it. It was right down the middle. You know, sometimes it looks so good you try and do too much. And you lengthen your swing by trying to add too much power instead of relying on your hands and your quickness to get the bat through the zone.
Another 3-2 count to Aaron Judge. This is down and away, so another walk for the Yankee right fielder. Well, we were talking about the probables for this series against the Nationals, and they just announced they are changing their pitcher for Wednesday. And that'll be Sabathia against Scherzer. That's 7-1 record, 1.69 ERA. A good pitching matchup on Wednesday. Well, the leadoff walk from Aaron Judge. It'll be Didi Gregorius. He walked in the first. First pitch swinging, hooks one foul.
Max Scherzer, who won the Cy Young Award in the National League last year. One of the top pitchers in baseball. In fact, he's won 2 years in a row.
7 wins already.
Yeah.
The Yankees will travel to Washington, D.C. tonight, enjoy an off day tomorrow. Off day is always a little sweeter if you can win the last game of a series and get on the road. It'll be an 0-2 pitch to Gregorius. Fouled straight back, good swing.
He's had 3 good swings in this at bat. Tell you what, Casilla doesn't mind throwing it towards the middle of the plate, does he? He's relying on velocity. Sometimes that does not work.
And you're starting to see the hands work again for Gregorius. I thought maybe through that tough slide the body was taken over a little bit. He's such a handsy hitter. Casilla not afraid to challenge with his fastball. He's not afraid to take his time either. A lot of time in between pitches. Tough time getting on the same page with Lucroy. And again, going through a bunch of signals, finally finds one that he likes. Be another 0-2 pitch to Gregorius. Gets underneath this one, fouls it straight back.
This is just a game of challenge. Let's see if you can hit this. Now we saw a backdoor breaking ball that he threw to Gardner last inning.
Breaking ball down and in. Nice play by Lucroy. Well, he puts on a clinic blocking a baseball.
This is what Flash is talking about. Watch him shift over. This time he gets the glove in a proper position, blocks the ball. That's tough when the ball gets among the feet of the hitter.
You love the angle of his upper body. It's always leaning towards home plate, towards the field of play, and it's how you absorb the baseball in your chest protector, or at least that's the goal.
I was going to ask you, you've had several catching instructors. Who was the best one?
Gary Tuck by far was the best catching instructor I ever had. Not only with teaching the position, but keeping you fresh during the year, working on it every day. Just like an infielder takes his ground balls, an outfielder yourself taking the fly balls. You work on drills pretty much every day, and the best in the business. Pop up. Semien cruising out to left field. Joyce coming in. He's going to make the play. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. With one down, will bring up Giancarlo Stanton, having a big afternoon. Solo home run, 2 singles, 3 RBIs. He's against Brett Anderson, the lefty. We'll see what he can do against the right-hander Casilla. As Aaron Judge takes his lead off of first base, Casilla is going to pay attention to him. Stanton's last at bat, he drilled his 10th home run of the year into the Yankee bullpen right center field. Fastball for strike one.
Let's take a look. 5th inning. Almost right down the middle for Anderson. Short, quick to the point. 403 feet away into the Yankee bullpen.
The 0-1 misses up and in. Well, we talked about Casilla and how much time he takes in between pitches. There are 381 major league pitchers with 10 or more innings this year. Casilla has the 4th longest average time between pitches of 30.3 seconds. That actually sounds generous watching him here in the 6th and the 7th. Stan hits it down the third base line. It's going to be a fair ball. Aaron Judge around second. He's going to third. Stanton, the big turn, and he will cruise into second base with a double. So a big afternoon for Giancarlo Stanton. 4 for 4, 3 RBIs, and now a double here in the 7th.
Yeah, trying to set up some more run scoring for the Yankees. Look at that sinker running in on the hands. Going to break his bat. But just over the corner of the bag, you can see third base umpire James Hoyt signaling it's a fair ball. Barely. But the Yankees will have runners at second and third with just 1 out here, and Sanchez comes to the plate. Let's see how the A's are going to play the infield here, or they're just going to put him on.
It looks like they're going to play the infield in, first base open. It looks like they're going to pitch to Gary Sanchez.
As Judge takes his lead off of third, Stanton off of second. A great opportunity for Gary Sanchez here to extend this lead. 4-1 Yankees, 1 out here in the 7th. Sanchez 0 for 2, grounded into a double play at a ground ball to third, and he walked in the fifth. 30 RBIs on the year, trying to add to that number here.
You think they're just going to pitch carefully to him, and if they walk him, fine? You know, my whole idea is I think I would just put him on. You know, you make a mistake, and the Yankees have at least 2 more runs. And you got Hicks coming up next. Now, I know he's tough to double up because he runs pretty well. But, you're passing on a guy who has 30 runs batted in.
I hated that whole feeling when you tell a pitcher, hey, I want you to pitch to him, but I want you to pitch around him. It just puts a negative thought into their head.
And before you know it, he throws one down the middle and it's hit.
Before you know it, you're Giles in Houston and you hang a breaking ball first pitch and it goes a long way for a 3-run home run.
Well, these two guys are having a tough time getting on the same page.
Yeah, whenever somebody's been on second base, this is where the problems come in. It's worth a mound visit. They've got 4 more. Take a mulligan.
The 1-0. We'll see what they came up with. Ball down in the dirt. Nice play by Lucroy again.
See, now Sanchez becomes even more dangerous because the count is in his favor. And now he can really pick and choose what he wants to hit. It's not like he's going to be defensive. He's more inclined to have a good swing at a 2-0 pitch than he would a 1-2 pitch. What did you say, 30 seconds?
Over 30 seconds.
That's a turnover in the NBA.
Tell you what, we had a 2-hour and 45-minute rain delay to start this thing, and he's stretching it out here in the 7th, taking his time.
Now, on the other hand, if you're Aaron Boone, I'm going to let him swing.
Oh, yeah. 3-0. If you see something you like, let it fly. Judge off a third, Stanton off a second. The infield in for the A's. Gary Sanchez at the plate and Aaron Hicks waiting on deck. Here comes the 3-0. That misses just off the plate away, so a 4-pitch walk.
Could have saved a lot of time there.
Scott Emerson, the pitching coach, going to come out and have a talk.
This is to give the Font and the bullpen a little bit more time to warm up.
Now another quick word from Spectrum.
Spectrum Internet. No data caps, no contracts. Just faster speeds with better performance.
Now to bring up Aaron Hicks, you go all the way back to the bottom of the first inning. He had a 2-out RBI base hit. His 14th RBI of the year. Now the Oakland A's playing double play depth. Aaron Hicks can't believe it. A first pitch strike on a fastball looked like it might have been down. Quinn Walcott behind the plate. Popped up. Chapman going after it. It's not going to have a play as it finds the seats. Aaron Hicks quickly in the hole, 0-2. Aaron Judge walked. Didi Gregorius popped out. Giancarlo Stanton a double. 4-pitch walk to Sanchez, and Aaron Hicks up at the plate. Bases loaded, 0-2.
Well, we mentioned Hicks has good speed and tough to double up. And the only way you're going to double him up, he's going to have to hit the ball hard, almost directly at one of the middle infielders or first baseman.
In the hole, 0-2. Try to put this ball in play. The fastball misses away. Wilmer Font should be ready in the Oakland A bullpen. Comes the 1-2, fouled off.
Looked like that pitch might have been out of the strike zone, but Hicks had committed, able to foul it off. Break inside. Yep. Not taking any chances.
The Yankees lead 4-1. They have 10 hits, looking for another big hit to kind of blow this one open. Scored 3 in the first, 1 in the fifth. Bases loaded opportunity for Aaron Hicks. Hits this ball hard but pulls it foul.
Out in front of those breaking balls. Yesterday, the home run that he hit was a pitch out over the plate. It was on the out at third. He still jerked it into the bullpen in right field. Right center field, I should say.
Judge off a third, Stanton off a second, Gary Sanchez taking his lead off a first. Another nice play by Lucroy.
Well, he wasn't sure where that one was, but he did a good enough job of blocking it to keep it in front of home plate. Looked like a changeup in the dirt. Now watch him scramble. He thinks the ball got behind him, but actually it did not.
Always felt like the changeup was the toughest pitch to block because you can't anticipate which side of the plate the mistake is going to be. Setting up away, Casilla yanks it down and in. A nice play by Lucroy. It'll be a 2-2. Ball hit hard the other way, right at third. Chapman to second to first. Not going to get a double play as Aaron Hicks runs too well. It'll be a fielder's choice and an RBI, and the Yankees extend their lead to 5-1.
Aaron Judge will score. You know, we talked about this earlier in the season where there was a survey done about the fastest teams in Major League Baseball. Now, the fastest team was the Minnesota Twins, overall team speed, but second, or tied for second, were the Yankees with the Chicago White Sox. And team speed shows itself in many ways. Defensively, and able to keep innings going by beating double plays. You see Casilla's reaction on the mound. He thought he had to double play to get out of the inning, but only the speed of Aaron Hicks made it possible for the Yankees to score another run.
2 down, bring up Tyler Austin, 0 for 3. You know, an interesting part of that play too, the shortstop Semien at second base, and an unusual turn for him as Aaron Hicks takes off and he'll steal second base. A great jump. His 5th stolen base on the year. With the 40th pitch coming for Santiago Casilla. Lucroy was crossed up.
Casilla hurt himself coming off the mound.
These guys have had a rough time of it here the last 2 innings.
Yeah, anytime a man's gotten on second base, there's been some confusion with the signs. Now, he's thinking fastball, but it turns out to be a breaking ball. He takes it off the knee, and Casilla scrambling off the mound seems to have twisted an ankle or something, and they're coming out to check on him.
What a helpless feeling when you're behind the plate, and if you're Jonathan Lucroy, you can smile about it now. A lot safer breaking ball coming when you're expecting a fastball as opposed to the other way around.
Take another look at this. And there's a Casilla limping, but he says he's okay. He's going to stay in the game. Oh, yeah, there he is. He turned his ankle right there.
Well, after all that, it's going to be a 2-0 count to Tyler Austin. Hits this ball well, but pulls it foul.
The last 2 runs the Yankees have scored have come with 2 outs. The home run by Stanton in the 5th, and the RBI by Hicks here in the 7th. Tacking on.
Crowd getting a little restless as Casilla steps off again.
Maybe we should send them a text.
Ooh. Lucroy going through the signs again. It'll be a 2-1. That misses off the plate. Standoff at third. Hicks taking his lead off a second. A 3-1 to Tyler Austin. Fouled off.
Yeah, Casilla was their closer last year, until Blake Trinan joined the team.
It'll be a 3-2. Goes breaking ball. It'll check swing. Tyler Austin cannot hold up. So after all of that, the Yankees add 1 run. They lead 5-1.
With your family at Yankee Stadium on Sunday, May 27th, when the Yankees take on the Angels. It's MLB Play Ball Weekend, and the first 10,000 guests 14 and younger will receive a Yankees arm sleeve. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit Yankee Stadium ticket windows, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Pick up one of those slick Yankees arm sleeves. Need extra long for Dellin Betances as he comes in, making his 17th appearance of the year. Dellin worked here yesterday, had a strikeout in 1 inning of work, didn't give up a run. Our Hyundai scoreboard, it's 5-1 Yankees. We're now in the top of the 8th. Matt Joyce leading it off, and the breaking ball just a little bit high for ball 1. Joyce, Lowry, and Chris Davis, 2, 3, and 4 for the A's here in the 8th inning. There is a call strike, and it's 1-1. Yankees trying to nail this one down for hitting out on the road. Breaking ball. Oh, what a stop by Betances, and the flip for the out. A little behind the back magic there.
Oh, and you got to smile, Dellin.
You don't see this every day.
Right back at him. The little backhand behind, then the flip. He got underneath the flip a little bit. A lot going on with this play. That's why you work on it in spring training, right, Kenny?
You work on that? So one down, and here's Lowry, who's had himself a good afternoon. 2 for 3 with a run batted in. Swings and misses strike one. Well, let's take one more look at this. I'm sure you'll see it again later somewhere. How about that? The 0-1 pitch fouled off, and Lowry quickly down, no balls and 2 strikes.
Well, you can laugh and smile about the play, but the good news for the Yankees, Dellin Betances now is really attacking the strike zone. It looks like he's got himself figured out mechanically. Quickly ahead in the count, 0-2 with 2 fastballs.
Swing and a miss, strike 3, blew him away. So Betances picks up his first strikeout.
And when Dellin gets in trouble, he relies on that breaking ball so much. He's got so much confidence he could throw it for a strike. But he's got the fastball going today. 3 pitches to Lowry, 3 fastballs. The last one right by him.
2 up and 2 down to bring up Chris Davis, who's 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Slider breaks away from the plate, and it's ball 1. The Yankees jumped out in front quickly in this game. They scored 3 in the first inning. The A's came back with their run in the 5th. The Yankees scored in the bottom half of that inning. There's a slider. It's outside ball 2. And then they scored again in the 7th and lead 5-1. Giancarlo Stanton with the big day. 4 for 4 with 3 runs batted in, including in the 4 hits, that 10th home run of the year. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-1. 97 with a fastball. Look out, it's inside, and it's 3 balls and a strike.
Dellin's got something going on with his right hand.
And this is in Kansas City. Another trick play by Dellin Betances. This one between the legs. He's got all kinds of moves out there on the mound, but right now they're concerned with, it looks like his pitching hand.
Yeah, he was shaking his hand, looking at his hand, so something's going on. Stevie Donahue, the trainer, out there to take a look.
It's the last pitch. Misses badly in. You see Dellin look right down at that right hand.
And here's where the Stevie Donahue is going to come out and check on him. Yesterday it was Chapman had a finger issue on the mound on his throwing hand, and today it's Dellin Betances. And it looks like they're trying to dry up some blood on was the middle finger? Yeah, it might be. Looks like he's going to be okay. So Dellin looks like he's going to stay in there. Chris Davis will be in there with a count of 3 balls and a strike and 2 outs and nobody on here in the 8th. You know, fingers for a pitcher throwing a baseball is important. As a guitarist playing a guitar, that's ball 4. Well, base on balls for Davis. He's aboard with 2 outs. Now he's going to check the finger again after that pitch outside of the strike zone.
You think you had to get somebody warming up, right, just in case? No action in the Yankee bullpen.
We saw Chapman throwing earlier, and I think it was just to see if his finger was okay. That pitch is fouled off by Olsen, who is 0 for 3 today. Let's see, right there. Yeah, that seems to be the problem. Swing and a miss, 0-2. One strike away from ending the top half of the 8th. Went with a hook and missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Got him. Swing and a miss. Betances with a couple of strikeouts. Here in the 8th, the A's will leave a runner. We've played 7.5, 5-1. The Yankees are on top. Yankees baseball and yes is brought to you in part by Delta. More destinations from New York City than any other airline. Good things come to those who go. Delta. Keep climbing. Dylan Betances, I'm sure he's going to have that finger worked on. And he's out of there pitching just the 1 inning, picking up a couple of strikeouts, got the job done, bad finger and all. And the A's have gone to the bullpen. The new pitcher is going to be Wilmer Font. They got him from the Dodgers back on April 25th. A trade, they sent a minor league pitcher over to Los Angeles, and you can see what he's done in the big leagues thus far this year. Opponent's hitting .394, and the first pitch is upstairs to Miguel Andujar, who has a hit in 3 trips. I was looking at the numbers a little further on Font. He's pitched 15 innings in the big leagues this year and has given up 9 home runs.
There were a lot of hits against innings pitched right there.
Yeah. Hyundai scoreboard, 5-1 Yankees. They've doubled up the A's in the hit column. And Duhart, Torres, and Gardner. Bottom of the 8th inning. Yankees win today. They'll have a 7-2 homestand. That pitch is outside for a ball. It's 3-0. Here's a strike. Font making his first appearance of this series. Hit hard, and it's in the left field for a base hit. Second hit of the ball game for Miguel Andujar. Started out 0 for 2, now 2 for 4. Way to come back. And Ronald Torres working on the 1 for 3 data. Chasen Shreve is up in the Yankee pen. Looks like he's going to get the 9th inning. I think with that hit, the batting average against Font just went over 400. There's a throw over the first, and Duhar is back. Yankees now with 11 hits in the game. Upstairs for a ball to Torres. Ball 2-0. Long rain delay. The start of this ball game was held up. And if you're still with us, thanks for hanging in there. It appears it's going to be well worth your while. The Yankees are looking to put another one in the win column. The Red Sox have already won today, so the Yankees are trying to win this one and keep pace and remain tied for first in the American League East. And in the process, win 28 of their first 40 games. The 3-0 pitch is on the way. And it's a call strike. Torres was taken all the way. The most popular players on the team, Ronald Torres. Runner goes. The pitch is popped up to the right side. Going to be a tough play for Olsen. And he's going to get back there and make the catch. Second baseman Lowry went over to cover the bag with Andujar on the move. And Olsen was the only one who had a shot at it. You know, I think the reason, as we watch this pop-up, you can see Lowry going to cover second, and then Olsen is going to have to scramble back just on the grass and make the play. Talk about Torres' popularity. Even in the games he doesn't play and somebody hits a home run, he's right there in the middle of all the celebrations.
Well, popular with his teammates, but also his manager has appreciated the job that he does.
Throw over the first, and Duhar is back. Back to the top of the order, Brett Gardner, 2 for 4 with a run scored. That batting average on the climb. Pitch to Gardner, and it's a little bit low for ball 1. Just about all the players are wearing some sort of accessory in pink. There's a pitch fouled at the plate to honor their moms on this Mother's Day. Gardner's really decked out. Moms and wives. Umpires getting in on it. Pink mask. And we hope you all at home who are watching honoring your moms today. The 1-1, and Gardner hits it into left field. Joyce retreats a few steps, makes the catch, and there are 2 down here in the 8th. And that'll leave it up to Aaron Judge. Tuesday, some of the biggest names in the game battle an interleague showdown on Yes as the Yankees take on Bryce Harper and the Washington Nationals. Coverage begins at 6:30 with the Chevy Yankees pregame. It's right here on Yes and streaming on Fox Sports Go. Should be a good series. Just a brief series, 2-game series down at Nats Park. Judge has scored a couple of runs today. He's 1 for 3 with a walk. Curveball drops in there for a strike. That one gets away from Lucroy, and that's going to move Andujar into scoring position. Appears that will be a wild pitch.
We talked about how great of a job Lucroy does blocking the baseball. This one well out in front of home plate. Didn't have the great angle with his upper body. The ball gets away from him. A long day for Jonathan Lucroy behind the plate.
He's blocked on numerous pitches. Crossed up a couple of times. Hit through the right side for a base hit, and Duhar is going to be waved home. The throw will be cut off, and the Yankees have a 6-1 lead. Give Judge another hit, another run batted in. So the wild pitch comes back to haunt the A's. It moved Andujar into scoring position, and Judge delivered.
Aaron Judge says thank you very much. A wild pitch, Andujar in scoring position, and he does what he's supposed to do, staying inside of a fastball and just drilling it the other way. A great look from this angle. Head right down on the baseball and a rocket into right field. Another 2-out RBI base hit for the Yankees today.
Here's Didi. He's looking for his first. He's 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. And there is call, strike one. 7 straight games with at least 1 run batted in, tied for the longest streak of his career. Now with 35 runs batted in on the year. That pitch is a little low. Manny Machado of the Orioles started out as the league leader in runs batted in today with 36, but the Orioles scored 17 runs. He had a feeling Manny might have done something. Ball was fouled down the left field side. With the Yankees scoring their 6th run, you get 50% off all regular menu price pizzas tomorrow at papajohns.com. Just use promo code Yankees6 tomorrow at papajohns.com for 50% off all pizzas. Well, the way the Yankees are scoring lately. That's a changeup upstairs for a ball, 2-1. And they scored 6 today. They scored 7 yesterday. Two-one pitch. Fouled off by Didi. Emergency type swing, 2-2. The Yankees can hold on and win this one. It would be their 7th straight series win. That's rolling. Hit hard on the ground for Simeon. Took a bad hop. He stayed with it. Steps on the bag. Judge is forced. But the Yankees add on. They add another run here at the top of the 8th. On to the 9th inning. Yankees up 6-1. After today's final out for the W.B. Mason postgame, Bob Lorenz is back in the studio to break down this battle with the A's and set the table for Tuesday's showdown in D.C. It's only on Yes. Aaron Judge handing a ball to a fan. New pitcher for the Yankees is Jason Shreve, making his 16th appearance of the year. Impressive. 20 strikeouts in 14 1/3 innings. Equally impressive, the 196 batting average against. And the daughter was the one who got the ball from Judge, wearing a Judge jersey. And Shreve's first pitch to Chapman is low and away for a ball. Chapman's 1 for 3 with a single. Could have made that little girl any happier. Getting the ball from her favorite player.
How about the mom on Mother's Day, right?
Yeah.
Nice little treat for your daughter.
Getting the job done. It's one of those lifetime memory things. Used to call those a Kodak moment, remember? Before phones became popular. I should say cell phones. Pitch is swung on and missed. And it's 2-1 on Chapman. Yeah, the whole family's smiling.
Well, the brother looks a little annoyed.
There's strike 2, 2-2. What do you think he's saying? Why did you take me down?
Yep. Where's my baseball?
Yep. The 2-2 pitch. Call. Strike 3. Chapman is caught looking. Shreve will strike out the first man he faces.
You mentioned the impressive number of strikeouts for Shreve and just dotting the inside corner. Maybe getting a little help from Quinn Walcott, the home plate umpire. Ball maybe was inside. Sanchez bringing it back to the strike zone.
Tell you what, the Yankees staff second in the league in strikeouts. Only the Houston Astros have struck out more batters than New York Yankee pitchers. Here's Canna. Didn't get that one. Ball 1. Canna working on an 0 for 3 afternoon. Check swing, high and away. 2 balls and no strikes. This next Yankee road trip will take him to Washington, Kansas City, and Texas, a 3-city tour. Three balls and no strikes. One good thing about that Texas trip, usually we'll go there in July and August. Might miss some of the heat. That is poured in there for a strike. 3-1. Get there in July. Local people tell you, yeah, it's been 100 degrees 15 days in a row. This is nothing new. They're building a new ballpark.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. 3-1 pitch is hit high in the air and hit pretty well to right center field. Going back is Hicks. He's not going to get this one. This one's gone. A home run for Mark Canha. That's his 6th home run of the year, and it's now a 6-2 game. Shreve fell behind on the count, laid one in there. Canha did the honors. Number 6 on the season.
Well, with a 5-run lead, Chasen Shreve has to pound the strike zone, and Canha takes advantage in a fastball count. Up out over the plate. Showing some good power going the other way. It's deep into the Yankee bullpen.
So 1 out, nobody on. Here's Jonathan Lucroy. And there's a call strike. Lucroy has singled in 3 trips, has a run scored. See, the Rangers are going to build, I believe it's a retractable dome stadium. You know, the heat in Texas. Pitch is hit on the ground towards the hole. Andujar can't get it. Didi does. The throw will not be in time. And Lucroy has himself an infield single. 2nd hit of the game. So the Texas fans, Ranger fans, will be able to sit in a little more comfort during the course of a season in that Texas heat. Well, it is pretty warm. Here's Chad Pinder pinch hitting for Dustin Fowler. Swing and a miss. Now we understand, we've been told it's already been 100 degrees in Dallas.
Mid-May?
Yeah. What's July and August going to be like? Fowler was 0 for 2 with a walk as Pinder takes over. 1 on, 1 out. Yankees looking for a double play ball to end this game. There's a pitch, and that's strike 2. Chapman up for the 2nd time in the pen. The 0-2 pitch in the dirt. Good smother by Gary Sanchez. The 1-2 pitch, swung on it, missed, strike 3. Looked like he chased the split change. Second strikeout for Shreve. And the A's are down to their last out.
Yep, good call, Kenny. The split changeup, good action down and away, and wave by Pinder.
That'll leave it up to Marcus Semien to try and keep the A's hopes alive. He is 1 for 4. Strike one call over the inside corner. There's a split change in the dirt. Semien wouldn't bite. It's a ball and a strike. Here's a split. That's an effective pitch. 1-2. You can see the split fingers, and then the ball dives down and away from the right-handed hitters. Shreve tried to learn the conventional changeup, could not throw it. Picked this up right away. The 1-2 pitch, little roller to the left side. Charging is Andujar. The throw is not in time. Looked like he had a lot of trouble transferring from glove to hand. So Semien's going to have himself a base hit.
Well, he comes up with it clean, but you're right, Kenny has trouble with the transfer. Nothing on the throw, and Tyler Austin just trying to keep it in front.
So that will keep it going for the A's. And it brings up Matt Joyce, so it'll be a lefty. No, they're going to. Jake Smolinski's going to pinch hit. Get a right-hander up there against Shreve. See the numbers on Smolinski on the year. Chapman is thrown in the pen, and you know, we mentioned he had finger problems yesterday. You know, this is a save situation. If he would come in the game, you have the tying run in the on-deck circle. It looks like Aaron Boone's going to wait and see if Shreve can finish this game off without the use of Chapman. Ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Lowry on deck is a switch hitter. There's a strike to Smolinski, and it's 2-1. Three balls and a strike. Misses upstairs. Get the feeling that if he doesn't get Smolinski, Chapman's coming in the game.
Yeah, get the best hitter for the Oakland A's waiting on deck. Aaron Boone doesn't want to see Jed Lowry at the plate. Got to go get Smolinski right here.
Strike 2, 3-2. There were 3-2, 2 outs. The runners will be on the move. The Yankees trying to win this one. Take 2 out of 3 from the A's. Payoff pitch. Popped up. Behind home plate. This should do it. Sanchez has a beat on it. puts it away, and there's your ball game. The Yankees do win by a score of 6-2. Jason Street buckles down and gets the final out here in the 9th inning. The A's pick up a run on 3 hits, but the Yankees come away with 2 out of 3 against the Oakland A's, and now head out on the road after a day off tomorrow. They'll take on the Washington Nationals in Washington. 6-2 the final. The Yankees win this one. So celebrations in the middle of the diamond. There's Tanaka. He'll be pitching Tuesday night in Washington. So it's on the road from the Yankees as they win this one 6-2. We'll be back to wrap this one up.